You are welcome to another English class, and today, as you can see on your screen, we are going to be learning comprehension. We want to look at how to answer comprehension passages, some tips, and some types of questions we are going to meet. I remain your teacher, Opoifa Olasukomi. What is comprehension? Comprehension basically means understanding. Comprehension means understanding. So the examiners want to test your ability to grasp expressions in English language at your own level. Hence, you'll be given a passage of about 300 to 400 words in your SSCE, and then after reading, questions will be asked after the passage, below the passage rather. So in that context, you need to show that yes, you have the ability to understand expressions in English language. So what are these questions that will be asked? What are the questions and what are the type of questions you expect in your comprehension, especially your SSCE comprehension passages? So we'll look at them one by one quickly. We have literal questions, inferential questions, critical questions, grammatical names and functions, figurative expression, and synonyms. Figurative expressions and synonyms. In this lesson, we won't look at grammatical names and functions, and we won't look at figurative expressions. You can find lessons on these two in other videos on the channel. So search on the channel and you see them. So let's take literal question first. What questions do we call literal questions? What question do we call literal questions? A literal question is a question that is straightforward. You give the answer just exactly the way you are asked. Give me an example. My father sent me to the market. I'm reading a passage now. My father sent me to the market. On my way going, I met Mr. Johnson. Full stop. My father sent me to the market. Full stop. On my way going, I met Mr. Johnson. Now, question like, where was the writer going? Well, the answer is simple. The writer was going to the market. That is as simple as that. It's not deduction. You didn't deduce it. He was sent to the market. He was going there, and then he met. So where was he going when he met Mr. Johnson? Obviously, he was going to the market from that passage. Straightforward. But I've seen cases where students give an answer like they have changed the questions. An answer could come, a wrong answer could come like his father sent him to the market. Of course, you have changed the question to who sent him to the market. So in literal question, you just need to maintain the context that you are asked. Okay, you just need to maintain the statement the way you asked and supply your answer. So let's look at 2016 and see where an example of this. In 2016, the question came like, what enabled, that's question C, as you can see on the screen. What enabled the teacher to discover the boys? What enabled the teacher to discover the boys? And the answer is the powerful headlight of the teacher's car enabled him to discover the boys. The powerful headlight of the teacher's car enabled him to discover the boys. As straightforward as I read the passage, you are going to see it there. So let's move on to the next type of question, inferential questions. Here you deduce your answer from the context. In this place, you deduce your answer from the context. The answer is not straightforward, and we are going to be looking at 2014. But before we do that, let me paint a scenario. Let's imagine I'm reading a passage now. As she stepped out of her house, she looked up and went back to pick her umbrella. She looked up and went back to pick her umbrella. Now the question is this: why did she go for her umbrella? Oh, because you will not say she went for her umbrella because she looked up. No. Okay. Something happened. She saw something up there in the sky. So your answer is she felt it would rain. Of course, that's the only reason why you go back and pick your umbrella. Don't say because this heat was high or it was hot. No. You don't need to look at the sky to know it is hot. So basically, she went back to pick her umbrella because of the imminent rain. Okay, that's now in that place now you discover that you had to deduce from the context of looking up and going in, add A and B together. Let's look at 2014. In 2014, we have a story of Dr. Akide, who when he was in primary school wasn't very bright, and his schoolmate, the narrator of the story now, was surprised to see him as a medical doctor. So we are looking at question A here. What evidence is there that the writer is not a young person? If you read the third paragraph, then a few months ago, 38 years after I last saw him in the primary school, that means 38 years when the writer was in primary school. Of course, what is the evidence there? The fact that the writer was in primary school 38 years ago. Add 38 years to whatever age he was then. Let's assume that he was about leaving primary school when he saw Akide. They were in primary school and they parted. Akide, let's assume the average age 12. Add 12 to 38 we have here now. So we can deduce that the writer should be in his late 40s or early 50s. So he's not a young man. So you can see how we are doing deduction now, adding A and B together to get the answer. This is where inferential question comes in. So we move on to critical question. Under critical question, I put here 2015, where a question was asked on what opinion people had about Chief Coco. But I'm not going to go into that one seriously, like 2003 now. Let's go to 2003 and see what we have there. Please, you can personally check 2015, read the passage and then see. But I have a very good example in 2003 where we have the story of the ostrich there, and the question came that what do you think, what is the writer's attitude about the ostrich? What is the writer's attitude to the ostrich? That's it. What is the writer's attitude to the ostrich? Here now, in critical questions, just as the name implies there, you are expected to give a correct judgment or a sound opinion. Here now, you should bring your critical thinking ability to play, where you not just deduce, but you pass judgments based on your own opinion and what you have read, and it should be sound judgment. Now, I haven't talked so much about the ostrich. You are asked now. Of course, the writer had spoken so much about the ostrich, then you are asked what you think about his attitude. The straightforward answer here, if you have read the passage, is that the writer admires the ostrich. The writer admires the ostrich. So we've been able to look at critical questions, we looked at inferential questions, and we looked at literal questions. Let's move on to the next one. Synonyms. Under synonyms, that's the last category. That's the last question, where you will be given some words and you are asked to look for another word or a phrase that can replace each of them effectively as used in the passage. Now, what are the things you're supposed to note or mind here? Number one, your answers, either in words or phrases, should be in the same word class or part of speech with the given word. If the part of speech of the given word is a noun, please maintain your own answer too as a noun. Don't give the verb form of it or the adjective form of it. If it's a verb, give the verb, don't give the noun form. For instance, I was surprised. The word surprised is underlined, and we have amazed as the right answer, not amazement. Number two, your answers should maintain the same grammatical status of the given word. If the given word is in past tense, please maintain your answer in past tense. If it's in present tense, let your answer be in present tense. Present, simple present, past participle, just maintain the same grammatical status. If it is in comparative adjective or superlative, please maintain the same status. Surprised, as used above there, another word for it is amazed. Amazed, ed, where we have ed, not the ing, amazing or amazes. Then finally, under synonyms, your answers should replace the given words maintaining the same meanings. Your answers should replace the given words maintaining the same meanings. A handsome amount of money. Let's look at the word handsome. The word handsome ordinarily means fine, good looking, probably attractive, anyway, given a general word. However, in this context, it is not used that way. It's not used in the general one, handsome. So you are not supposed to say fine amount of money. The meaning of handsome here is large. So a large amount of money. So you need to be careful and not pick the answer outside the context. Don't go to the question, see the word remarkable, and then you quickly supply an answer because you've seen it before in the past question or in your dictionary. You quickly go into the context, read the context, and then supply your answer. So finally, friends, let me give you some tips. And one of the tips I'm going to give, which is not written here, is that I will advise that you read the questions first before you read your passage. Just a piece of advice. To me, I feel it will just give you the skeletal opinion of what the passage is all about. You may not be able to pick the answer at first reading also, but by reading the question, you know the objective in the way of the examiner. So let me give you my first one written down here. You need not write your answers in sentences. In comprehension passages, this is not summary. In comprehension passages, it is not compulsory your answers are given in sentences. Of course, when you are writing SSCE, it is not compulsory. You can give a phrase as your answer if it will be precise enough and straightforward. Like what happened in 2016, your answer could just be the powerful headlight of the teacher's car. The powerful headlight of the teacher's car. Then secondly, avoid grammatical names and functions. Avoid grammatical errors. I beg your pardon, please. Avoid grammatical errors. And this is common when you need to write your answer in full sentences. Where you write your answers in full sentences. For instance, the question is, what enabled? Now, is in past tense. In place of writing your answer, you have something like the teacher's car, the powerful headlight of the teacher's car enable, and you forgot your enabled ed, and then you only drop it at enable, stop at e. Of course, you've made a grammatical error. It will be ringed, and then half mark will be deducted. If 2 is allotted for that question, that means you have just 1.5 as your answer. And you know the difference between D7 and C6 could just be that half. The difference between B2 also and A1 could be that half, and you may need that A1 for your scholarship, so don't joke with any question. Then finally, avoid giving 2 answers where 1 is required. Avoid giving 2 answers where 1 is required. Don't think you are smart. Examiners are not dumb, okay? Give just 1 answer as required, especially under the synonyms where you are asked to give just one. Please just give 1 word or 1 phrase that will fit in suitably. Okay, once you do that, you are home and dry, and I wish you best of luck in your exam. Before you go, please kindly practice past questions. You can ask questions and drop it in the comment box there. Be sure that we are going to answer you quickly, and do not forget to click the subscribe button so that you can get notifications of other subjects and other topics you are going to be treating on this channel. One teacher, one topic. If you are picking this lesson on one teacher, one topic channel, we have so many other subjects and other topics in other subjects too. Please kindly subscribe so that you can have our notification. Share on your platform, share on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it on your Instagram, share it via WhatsApp, send our link across whatever social media that you are using. And I believe you are going to have a wonderful time learning more topics in English language and other subjects. Do have a wonderful time. Thank you.